We were late because today, as usual, nothing went right. The computer stuck. But we have a brand new station tonight. And I'm looking forward to it. Tom Telesco. General manager of the Los Angeles Chargers. Tomorrow's Herschel Walker. We start on Orlando tonight and Fort Walton, brand new affiliate. So we're looking forward to it. That's what's up. Show's grown as usual. And we're very thankful. And the Cox people came out, Cox Communications folks came out and fixed the stream for us, which is essential to moving forward. So Be right back. Reliable sources. That guy on CNN has the worst ratings in history. See? Good. All good, brother. It's been a crazy day around this part neck of the woods. Second. Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, let me hear it. Yep. Oh my God. What's my friend's name? Who's the play-by-play voice of them? Oh my God. He's a friend of mine too. Oh God, he called the Rays forever. Then he went to the Nationals radio. God, I can't think. Of course you do, because me too. I started on the same network with him. Tim and I are dear friends. What is this guy's name from the Nationals? No, Charlie Slows. Charlie Slows. Milo Hamilton. Do you know he called the 715th home run? Yeah, he was the man that called. I mean, the national television was Vince Scully. The radio broadcast was Milo Hamilton. I don't. Oh, that's right. I think I did know that, but I had forgotten. Yes. Yeah, Harwell. I gotta think that was Scully working with Metro Media at the time too, because never something. Vince started not in Los Angeles. He started with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Yeah. New York had great broadcasters. And yes, Jerry Coleman. Jerry Coleman was fantastic. And by the way, he was best friends with Mantle. And yeah, he was revered in two cities, San Diego and New York. New York loves him. I'll tell you who else turned out to be a hell of a broadcaster was Ralph Kiner. He did with I'm thinking with God, who was that guy? Did all the college football games. He worked with him, Ralph Kiner, and I'm just out of blank tonight. Been a long day. They had great broadcast teams in New York. I am. Hey, Chris, being doing national, and since it's staggered a little bit on one station and not on the other one, I'm not going to say top of the hours and stuff like that because they're going to it's going to be 10-1 in Orlando, but yet in Fort Walton, it's going to be like 9 to midnight. You know what I mean? Yes, right. Yep. Yep. Nope. Good evening. Dan Sileo here on USA Radio Network. We would like to thank all the great people who send us all these great comments about the show growing. And we'd like to welcome a couple of affiliates tonight. Our great friends in Fort Walton and also in Orlando on Florida Man Radio. We really appreciate you guys, JVC Broadcasting, for picking the Dan Sileo Show up. Thank you very much. Lived in Orlando for ever. My daughter lived there for a long time. We loved staying there, going to Disney. And really, my broadcasting career, if you really want to put it all in kind of a box here, started in California, believe it or not, in San Francisco. Then we went to Florida, where I did Morning Drive Radio in Tampa for 15 years. Then we added Orlando. We were on another company there in Orlando for 12 years, and it was all simulcast. Then we went down to Miami. So we are very excited to be back in the state of Florida again. And we welcome you aboard, Fort Walton and also Orlando here tonight. All right, let's get into some of the things that are making news right now. And I'd like to start it out. By the way, real quick, the general manager of the Los Angeles Chargers will be on with us tonight. We will talk to Tom Telesco. That will be in hour number 2. So we will talk with him and get his thoughts on the upcoming season. One of the things, if any of you know the show, we get some of the biggest guests there are when it comes to having great people on the program. So Tom Telesco, the general manager of the Los Angeles Chargers will join us tonight. Really love Tom. He's a really great guy. All right, let's get into our sandbox, which is sports. You know what's funny? And I've said this before. I was on Shannon Burke's show in Orlando today, and I told him, and I put this into context here, where politics and sports now have completely collided with one another. You know, and as much as the political landscape tries to maneuver around the sports world, it tries to, direct it, it can't. Because as I said with Shannon Burke today, Shannon does afternoons on Florida Man Radio, and I said to him, I go, what's funny is that there's a scoreboard in professional and college sports, really in all sports. And you can't move the chains in sports. There's a winner and loser. Only in politics can you move the chains, right? Only in politics that happens. And you see it all the time. You can't really do it, though, in sports. Let me give you a for instance here. So have you been watching what's going on with these Texas Democrats? They got on an airplane. There was a voting bill that they didn't like. So they ran to Washington, got on an airplane, having beers, having a good time, showed up in Washington, and the liberals in Washington, what did they do? They paraded them around like they were heroes. Well, let me throw this out at you here, and I think you'll understand where I'm coming from. By the way, I'm not really ripping them, but I'm going to make a point using them. And for the record, that thing, without a doubt, is just not happening, and it's really not making it so, where guess what? It's not making an impact. I'll tell you exactly what's happened here. So they got on this airplane and they went to Washington. Well, these are the same people that have been screaming at you about wearing a mask. These are the same people that are making you wear a mask indoors, outside, what have you. And was any one of those people on that airplane wearing a mask? And for the record, you're not going to hear this on very many shows. They could have infected the Vice President of the United States. Oh, and this just in as of tonight, 5 of them have come down with COVID-19. So where I'm going with this is, do as I say, not as I do. So now the National Football League is now making it so that it's going to be more difficult for people that are not vaccinated when it comes to the upcoming season. You're going to be isolated here. You're not even seeing people in Washington following their own protocols. This makes no sense. That's why nobody trusts anybody. Nobody believes anybody. Michael Irvin today came out and said something that if you haven't been vaccinated, you're not committed on winning. And I say this, I love Michael. Michael's a former teammate of mine at the University of Miami. I love the guy. Mike's not really talking about being vaccinated. You know what he's talking about? Everybody in it together. Everybody doing things together so that you get to a common cause. That's winning games. Now, I said this earlier also when I was on with Shannon. I said this, listen, guys, make no mistake about it. Wearing a mask, if that's what all my teammates were doing, I'd wear a mask. If all my teammates got vaccinations, I'd get a vaccination too. You know why? I want to do what everybody else is doing in the room. Hey, and for the record, I am not sitting here telling you what to do in any way when it comes to being vaccinated. Absolutely not. That is a person's individual right, and you have every right to make that decision. Okay? But you're seeing politics, sports colliding here, and quite frankly, it makes no sense. Professional sports leagues, NFL, Major League Baseball, have no right or position to be involved in this conversation whatsoever because you don't know what to believe today. When you're moving the All-Star game out of Atlanta because you have some political agenda and you move it to Colorado, not knowing that Colorado has tougher voting laws than what Georgia does, and you're doing it just for political parading, you're not really doing what's right for your league. You are a sports league. Stay the hell out of this vaccination stuff. You have no right. It's against the law to ask any American about any health issue or request anything from that American. What's next? Hey, can I see your polio shots? Hey, can I see your smallpox shots? You have no right to ask any questions like that. A couple years ago, Adam Schefter from ESPN put on his Twitter page, Jason Pierre-Paul's blown off part of his hand when he was in that unfortunate accident, and he was in the fireworks accident, I believe it was. And he posted those pictures on the Twitter, and he posted his medical chart. You can't do that. That's against the law. ESPN had to come out of pocket $750,000, and Adam Schefter was suspended for that. You have no right to be involved in this. You know, it's funny. The NFL likes to pretend that there's some sort of marriage counselor, drug addiction counselor. You're a football league. Act like it. When you start to get involved into politics, this is where you go down that rabbit hole. And this is where you get caught up in the Kaepernick stories of the world. By the way, the Kaepernick story is so dumb. Dumbest story on the planet. You know why? Half of America sees it one way, and the other half sees it their way. Not getting anywhere. Funny. It's kind of what goes on in Washington. This is what happens when sports leagues. You know what's great? I watched the PGA over the weekend. I watched the British Open. Not one bit of politics. No wonder the ratings are going through the roof this year when it comes to golf. And I'm not even a golf watching fan. But I get enjoyment watching a sporting event with no politics in it. The NFL would be best suited if they did this. And here, this is where you're going to get more in trouble here with this. Follow me here when I say this to you. So Dak Prescott was asked a question about 2 weeks ago if he had been vaccinated. Dak goes, that's a personal choice, and I'd like to keep that private. Really? So the highest paid guy in the history of the NFL and for the Dallas Cowboys is not going to tell you if he's been vaccinated? Because you know what? There's a part of probably on Dak that's saying this. I don't want these guys parading me around as a poster child for people getting vaccinated when other people, don't know if they want to get vaccinated. By the way, I know many of you out there believe that it's the Trump people that aren't vaccinated. African Americans and Latinos are the number one. They are the number one group in this country they're 19% vaccinated. Okay? Those are traditionally Democrats. So this message that's being sent is not true because you have a very unholy media that's out there. You're not being fed the truth. That's why everyone's confused when it comes to mask, no mask, inside, outside. You've got to make your own personal choices. And for the record, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and the NBA needs to stay the hell away from this stuff. Stay out of what's going on in Texas. Hey, for the record, like I said, I don't really care what those people are doing getting on those airplanes. You want to look like fools? That's on you. You want to infect the Vice President of the United States? You may have. 5 of them came down with COVID-19. Nobody was wearing a mask. Those are the same people, like I said, that are telling you to wear them. So they're not following their own protocols. Okay? And yet they're doing things on vote. It's crazy. So like I said, okay, when it comes to this issue, I wish the sports world would just do the promising thing for all fans. And you know what that is? Hey, man, if you're vaccinated, come into the building. If you're not vaccinated, it's on you, okay? You're not going to be able to tell all your fans and check your fans at the gate on whether or not they've been vaccinated. And I'm not going to keep hammering this point because I can hear people out there right now going, really, Sills, is this big of an issue? Yeah. When you're still telling people to wear masks outside and you're hearing people now saying there's another deviant of this or variant of this coronavirus, you're going to start frightening people. And get this, the media loves this. I'm going to flat out tell you, the media loves the fact that there's another variant of this disease because you know why? They made millions of dollars scaring America through this whole pandemic. Having those death charts that they had posted. The media loves to frighten people. That's how they make money. They make money that way. So I see this stuff, and I get where Michael was coming from, Michael Irvin, the former Dallas Cowboy. I get where he's coming from. He's talking more about teammate. Michael's one of the best teammates I was ever around. But this fact that, hey, if this guy's vaccinated, that guy's vaccinated, those are all private, personal choices. You have absolutely no right to be involved in a person's medical issues or medical beliefs. What's next, okay? You're going to get involved in their religion? You're going to tell them how to live their life? And again, I'm not preaching to you. I'm just saying there used to be in our country where we had space. You know, don't cross the line here. We have crossed the line so much in this country by not giving people their space, which means their right to choose whatever form of life they want to live. You have no right to tell another American how to live his life. No right. Politics colliding with sports. Oh, by the way, I'm watching a normal baseball game, and politics decided to collide again. But this was last night. Okay? We'll hit on it. You keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show. Okay? Okay? You're correct. Oh, bank. I ruined it. Very good point. Very good point. Do you know that there's 2 American Airlines arenas? Correct. And the one in Miami, I don't know the one in Dallas if it's set up the way, but dude, the one in Miami is in a crap hole. Yeah, I can't think Mark would. Yeah, I'm going to do it here. I believe it started in the 6th inning. I watched it live. No, I'm not. It is. Really? Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. And by the way, if you're joining us, like some people are on our social media platforms, on YouTube and on our Twitch channel, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And we want to welcome Fort Walton and Orlando on Florida Man Radio. Thank you guys so much, 105.5 and 660 AM, for having us part of your station and for being part of the Dan Sileo Show. Thank you so much. So we opened the show talking politics and sports. God, I hate the fact that they're colliding almost each and every single night now. You know, I'm actually watching Padres and Nationals a couple nights ago. Padres having a really good year. Nationals, of course, a couple years ago win the World Series. It's funny, huh? They get rid of Bryce Harper, and they're actually better. Right? They send his ass to Philly. Hey, you want to pay that money? You go right ahead. What happens? Next year they win the series. Shows you in baseball, you don't need the best player on your team to win. Ask the Royals. You don't have – it's not like the NBA. You don't have to have the best player in the game to make an impact on your team. Baseball is the only sport on the planet where balance matters. Okay? All right? Balance matters. Okay, so I'm watching the Padres. Bottom of the sixth inning. Gunfire. You hear people on the intercom saying, stay in your seat, stay in the stadium. And this scene here was absolutely frightening if you were a fan there at Nationals Park. So now, once again, we have what's going on in America colliding in sports. What I really loved watching was Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado, both $300 million guys, grabbing the fans and sending them into the dugout and into the clubhouse. These were guys that could have ran for the hills. They were directing fans into the dugout to get away from the gunfire. Did you think that this wasn't going to eventually end up being a factor around our country when you're talking about defunding cops? That is a mechanism for every idiot on the planet. When you hear people saying that, criminals must just perk up and go, I wonder what other people think around the world when they hear defund cops. Who in their right mind want to defund police? You mean the same police that ran into those buildings in 9/11? Those guys who were trying to save lives? We're coming up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And all we do in this country, if you turn on any news source, is you hear people pissing on the police and first responders who show up to these criminal events. Defund the cops. How about this? Those people that were out there protecting those folks in that stadium, okay, they were running to help you. Wouldn't you want more of those people in your lives? Now, look, some would say, what about the bad cops like we saw up in Minneapolis? Watch this, bank. You know what that means? Don't thank me for not robbing a bank. You mean doing the right thing? Really? Of course nobody wants bad cops. Jesus criminy, man. Did you not ever think that this stuff was going to affect the way we live our lives? Would you just think you were going to get Trump out of the White House and this stuff wasn't going to happen? All right. I want to hit on Aaron Rodgers. We'll change the subject. You keep it here. It's all good. That's all good. Oh, that's great. Oh, I'm not. No. I'm just trying to concentrate a little bit. That's all. It's been a rough one today, Chris. That's all. Watch this. Watch this. As you know, in case you're just tuning out for the first time, the show, we have 2 shows. We're on a break right now. So, toilet issues again. Oh, dude. No. Oh, no, you should have. That's the 4th time I've been in there on my hands and knees cleaning it up. Wow. Cabrera's really? I did think he's spectacular. No. I'll tell you this. Miguel Cabrera could easily be the best right-hand hitter in the last 40 years. Think of one better. He's got 2 MVPs. He's won a batting title. He's won a home run title. He's won RBI titles. He's won well, he's well over 300. Yeah, right. He's not better than Bonds. Right. Gwynn's left-handed. Gwynn, if I'm not mistaken, I think Gwynn's a 334 lifetime. I think that's the highest career batting average since World War II. I think they're in their own category. Like the greatest switch hitter of all time, in my opinion, is Mantle. Probably Rose second. No, he's switch hitter. Well, if you're going to consider the Negro League numbers, which baseball has, well, they have. If they've added some numbers to like guys like Mays and Aaron and guys who started in the Negro Leagues, and if you're going to add those numbers to some of the professional numbers, then you should add Ichiro's numbers, because especially with what Shohei Ohtani's doing. Never. Not that good. Which one? If he practiced just being a pitcher, Shohei Ohtani would be the best pitcher. He's already the best hitter in the game. Dude, he's got 35 bombs already. See, you're not going to use A-Rod because A-Rod, with the steroid stuff. Trying to. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network, we really appreciate you coming aboard with us here. Don't forget, we will have on Tom Telesco, the general manager of the Los Angeles Chargers. I always pause there, if you notice, okay? I pause there because I still have San Diego in the back of my head there a little bit, okay? So I always make sure that for me, that I make sure that I do this, okay? Hey, don't forget, it's the Los Angeles, okay? It's the Los Angeles scenario when it comes down to getting, all the facts right. They've moved over to Los Angeles, and Tom's really fit in there and really done a nice job. And I really believe that Tom has he just has the talent in that building now to go out and get, a Super Bowl potentially. This Justin Herbert kid is spectacular, okay? He really is. I think that he has an opportunity to really be a spectacular football player. And I think without a question there, he's going to be a guy who could definitely lead this team to a championship. Okay. And with that being said, we will have him on. So we'll talk a little bit about him. All right. Let's get into Aaron Rodgers here a little bit. I'd like to say this to you about Rod. Look, this story and this saga that we've had here. Okay. This saga. Okay, man. I just wish one thing about Aaron Rodgers. I wish Aaron Rodgers could just put the pettiness aside. He's got a football season that he has to prepare for. And what's this guy been doing the whole offseason? Playing the ukulele, going to bonfires, spending time in Hawaii, not preparing for the upcoming season. You know what Brady's doing? Brady's getting ready for the upcoming 2021 season. He's throwing to his guys. He's talking to his guys. He's getting ready. There lies the difference between these two men, okay? There lies the difference. One guy is football committed. The other guy is Aaron Rodgers committed. And that's what you get with the guy. Now, look, watch this. Is Aaron Rodgers, without a doubt, one of the absolutely best talents in the history of the game? Absolutely. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? No question about it. There is no question about it that he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And when you see all the things that guy has accomplished, he's the reigning MVP. He's done everything in his power to try to win a Super Bowl. Make no mistake about that, okay? No mistake about that. And I like the guy. I really do. I like the guy. But at the end of the day, he's all about Aaron Rodgers. He is all about Aaron Rodgers. That's all it is. And that's all he sees is Aaron Rodgers. Not anything to do with team. Not anything to do with when it comes to trying to win a game. It's all about Aaron Rodgers. And personally, I think that's what's held him back. I think that is clearly what's held him back, has been that fact that he has been that guy. And make no mistake about it, you're seeing it play out. Just put the pettiness aside. Whether or not he shows up, to, training camp, that's still yet to be determined. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to find out. Do I think he shows up? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I think he plays this year? Yes. Do I also think this now, that this is his last year in Green Bay? I completely do. I think this is his last season. I think Aaron Rodgers has played his final year in Green Bay and that relationship. But here, I'm going to throw something else at you here with Rodgers, and something that you have to take into account here. Aaron Rodgers has no relationship with his mother and father. Aaron Rodgers has no relationship with his estranged brother. The only people he hangs out with are a select group of people that personally he knows. Other than that, get this, okay? Aaron Rodgers doesn't really have many people that he calls friends. And I would say that even about his teammates. There's so many differences between Rodgers and Tom Brady and how they go about their business and how they go about winning ball games, how they prepare each year. Brady keeps his chin down the entire time. The entire time. Never looks up, doesn't look in the rearview mirror, is always looking through the window. Front window. Brady's that guy. He is totally that player. Rodgers is looking around the room. Hey, man, these people don't treat me. Hey, man, you have net wealth of $150 million. The Packers have paid you well. So you're like an off-the-cuff kind of guy. All right. I get it. Okay, I get it. But, dude, you got 52 guys in that locker room that are counting on you to win a game this year. 52 guys are counting on you to win. And what do? You're just sitting there and, again, bitching and crying about how they treat you. Does he have a right to say this? Absolutely. Is he wrong? No. But you'll get over it. Not everything is perfect. You're in a marquee franchise, the Green Bay Packers. You're not playing, and no disrespect for the Tennessee Titans. You're playing for the Green Bay Packers. Act like it. In 10 years from now, Brett Favre is going to be 10 times more revered than what Aaron Rodgers ever was. I've always said this about Rodgers. Rodgers just seems like he was parachuted in. And there's Aaron from California. Okay? There's Aaron from California. And Brett Favre just seemed like, old country kid, goes up to Green Bay, wins the fans over. 10 years from now, when you put the two resumes next to one another, people are going to go like this. Aaron Rodgers was the better player. But you know who people and Packer fans like the most? Favre. Because he's relatable. That's what Brady works on all the time. Relatability. Okay? Being related. When you can relate to others, that's how you build a fan base when they do that. That is, without a doubt, his greatest asset. How great a teammate he is. On top, watch this. Well, he's a starting quarterback, and he's the GOAT when it comes to being the quarterback in the NFL. Absolutely. That's a given. But what are the intangibles that make him that guy? Brady shows you every single year. Look at what, hey, here, think about cultures for a second, too. Stephon Gilmore is holding out now. Have you ever heard a New England Patriot guy ever holding out? What was the last guy you heard that held out in New England? When was the last time you heard a guy? Okay? When was the last time you ever heard a guy holding out in New England? You didn't hear it when Tom Brady was there. You know why? Tom had a culture in there. Tom was like, hey, I'm taking less money because I want to win championships. And that's how Brady did it. Brady wanted to win championships. So he took less money because you know what he did? He invested in himself. That's what made him so relatable, was that he was doing that. No question. His asset of being a great teammate. First thing he did when he got to Tampa Bay, he grabbed every single phone number that he could get from Jason Light, the general manager. And you know what he did? He called each and every single one of the guys because he told them we're going on a journey. You think Aaron Rodgers sits around the room worrying about what teammates think, getting them ready mentally to try to go out and win something and do something special? There's no way that guy does that. Watch this. Showing up to the facility and winning the games that he's won. Dude, he wins a lot of games, but he doesn't win the games. He's won one. He's won one. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, Jason Cole, and Jason Cole said something interesting. If Aaron Rodgers had Mike Holmgren, those two guys may have won multiple Super Bowls together. You know, his relationship with Favre was always combative because Favre always just played with a reckless abandon. It's very entertaining to watch, but you could get 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions at any time when you're watching a guy like Favre. Aaron Rodgers is not going to do that. But watching Favre play the game, he played with passion and love and played through all those injuries and all. No question about it. But Rodgers, man, the pettiness. You know, remember on Monday Night Football or any time that he was on a national game, he'd always mention his junior college and not Cal, where he played his college ball, because he had like a rub with them. He, I guess, was pissed because he had to go to junior college to prove himself, and he didn't like that fact that he wasn't really a highly recruited guy when he came out of high school in California. He wasn't. Went to Cal, which is a great school, by the way, but he didn't like the way that he was treated there. And so that whole dynamic played itself out. And he kept that up for years. And if you go back and think of that, that's kind of how you think. And you're like, okay, he is petty. And I don't know, man. Doesn't it get to a point where you're just like, let's just go win. Let's just go win the game. You know what I mean? All right. Let's move on here. So let me throw this out at you. So tomorrow, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to show up at the White House, which is traditionally a really cool event. If you've ever been to the White House, which I have, when you're being honored by the president and our country for winning a championship, it's very cool. You get a chance to meet the president. They take you into the Oval Office. They take you around the grounds. You get to see the Rose Garden. You get to see all the historical things that are associated with the White House, and they take you on this tour of Washington. It's actually pretty cool. And you get to actually sit there and have somewhat of a state dinner. It's pretty cool. It's a really great event. And I enjoyed it when Canes won the national championship. You know, Jimmy told me to go, so I went. It was a really cool event, okay? Got a chance to meet the president, like I said. You know, it's funny how it's been politicized over the last couple of years when Donald Trump was in the White House. Who cares who's behind the Resolute desk? I mean, really, who cares? You invited me and my teammates. And you're honoring my teammates. You're honoring them for an accomplishment that we went on that journey that I was just talking about. Why do athletes today feel that whether it's whether it's standing on a podium where you have to make a somewhat stance where you take a knee, and you're going to do this we're going to see this at the Olympics. You know we are. We're going to see this at the Olympic Games where people are going to be protesting. Man, you're representing the United States of America. Okay? You're representing our country. I hate that fact. I really do. I hate that. I don't want to see any protesting. You work your ass off the whole time to not go to the White House. By the way, you know what I think is going to be very interesting? How about this? You think Tom Brady shows up to the White House? Remember, he's a Trump guy. Remember when he won his last Super Bowl? What he did? He didn't want to show up at the White House because he didn't want to make it about him and Trump. So he didn't show up. I got a feeling that I don't think Brady shows up with his teammates with the Buccaneers because I don't think he wants to make it about Biden and Brady. It's more about his teammates. I think that's going to be interesting to see if Tom shows up tomorrow. Remember, he got all that grief and hell when it came to the MAGA hat in his locker. He's friends with Donald Trump. There's no getting around that. He's friends with Trump. And look at how this is being politicized just with me talking about it. I think anytime you get a chance to represent your country or you're being honored by your country, put your politics back in your back pocket, man. You know, keep your politics aside and keep it away from what's going on here. Because you're being honored as a team. This has nothing to do with individuals. This has everything to do with team. Okay? Everything to do with team. All right. Do me a favor. Folks, check out my friends at podcasterwarehouse.com. Okay? If you're looking for headphones, you're looking for earbuds, this is your one-stop place. Gamers, do me a favor, man. This is it for you. Furniture, home studio, 25% off of everything. Use the promo code Sileo. That's S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. That's S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. Shipping is free. Podcasterwarehouse.com. Richard Sherman needs help. I'll explain. We'll hit on it next. Hey, Chris, I'll be right back. I'm sorry, Chris. Today's been crazy, man. Something really good just happened, so it's all good. No. No. No, that's not going to ever happen. Gotcha. Been a crazy day. No, a BK suit was sent to me by accident. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Thank you so much for coming aboard. Tom Telesco still to join us. General manager of the Los Angeles Chargers. So Richard Sherman, the troubled defensive back, and without a doubt, a Hall of Fame resume. Just really a Hall of Fame resume. And he was arrested a couple days ago. Like burglary, domestic burglary was the charge. Pleaded not guilty. My first thoughts were, geez, what could have set him off like that? Wasn't this not just a typical athlete, thinking he's above the law? That's what most people really think about athletes that make money and have great wealth. They don't really look at the little things of what could have sparked something off. I'll say this to you. Richard Sherman's probably going through depression right now in his life. And he's saying that he's struggling with depression. Okay? Well, that's a disease. And if he's struggling with that, it's not an excuse. But it is something that's an affliction. Here's a guy that's won a Super Bowl, Pro Bowls, great wealth. Don't you ever ask the question, why would somebody do that? Or is it just a entitled athlete? Because sometimes that's all people see. It's like Twitter. If they hear something that you say, they pass judgment on you. And that's what people did with Richard Sherman. They passed judgment on him without knowing anything. But that's typical. That's why most people are C students. Most people are C students in life because they don't really look what's inside the book. They just read the cover. Those are C students, man. You'll always be a C student when you don't take the context of one's character. Character matters, man. And I look at Richard Sherman and I say this, I hope he gets all the help he needs, man, because he's going to need it to get through all this. So I hope he gets it. And I hope he's able to come through this because these are guys, they were saying that he had suicidal thoughts and he was talking and killing himself. Well, that's just the beginning because you know what he's going through? He knows he's on the back nine of his career right now. And she's divorcing him. You know who's divorcing him? Football. You think that that's that easy to just walk away from your true love? I mention this all the time. Brady's struggling with it. You think Brady knows when to put the football down? Okay, Brady doesn't know when to put the football down. He's struggling with it. He knows he's got a few snaps left in his career. Okay? Leaving the game is the worst thing in the world, man. Look, I love my family. I love my kid. I love everybody involved in my life. But get this, at the end of the day, you're leaving your true love, man. You break your body, you break your heart, and it's not as easy as you think. Some would go, come on, man, stop crying. I get up off my ass every day, go to work. I hear you, and I understand. But, man, when you do something for so many years, look, let me give you, watch this. I played 4 years of junior football, 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, and 7 years of professional football. We're talking 20 years of my life that were involved in playing football. Putting pieces of my body all over the country. Breaking everything that I have. I don't get a decent night's sleep. Some would go, are you crying? Absolutely not. I do it again. Yeah, I do it again. I would have both my knees blown out again. Break my jaw. Every finger in my both hands broken. Both my arms broken. A shoulder. All of that. To do it all again. It's no crying. So when you leave something like that, did you lay it all on the line for him? I get where Richard Sherman, okay? I really do. I get where Richard Sherman is struggling right now with his life. And I hope he gets the help that he needs, man. I really do. I really do. All right. Yeah, don't throw shade on somebody without knowing the facts. But then, oh my God, listen to me talking here. I sound like I don't read Twitter. Red, I sound like I don't read Twitter. Holy cow, man. What a tool. All right, man. Hey, the Cowboys are showing up to training camp tomorrow. We'll reset. You keep it here on the Dan Sileo Show. I'll be right back, dude. How was that first hour? I thought of all people you could relate. And I mean that. I like. Dude, life's the biggest game and biggest opponent you'll ever play in your life. Yeah. Plus, if you have internal depression as is, and it just accentuates everything. Dude, I tell people this all the time. I failed in the NFL because of that stuff. I mean, I let things get to me way too much when I was a kid, and it was to my detriment. Right. I did. I did. No. Yeah. Thousands. No, yeah, I guess sometimes, maybe my expectations failed because I had different expectations. And by the way, there's many parts of my radio career. I would say this 90% of my radio career, my broadcasting career, I am very proud of. Okay. Very proud of. And after almost 30 years, almost 30 years of it, I can't think that everybody would be proud of everything they've ever done on the air. So, so if I get 90 in, I think I'm pretty good. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, we have the same. No, we have the same background. Everyone. Yeah. Sacking Montana. I was drafted 56th. Hey, I love them bitches. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network, welcome aboard. Hope everyone is having a great start to their week. Hope everyone really is, man. It's without a doubt the best time of the year. We are wait a minute, not just 2 weeks away from the start of training camp. The Cowboys start tomorrow as they get ready for the Hall of Fame game. So we're going to be going knee deep into this. Tom Brady was called a liar by a media person that I respect. And I'm going to explain to you what that means. But first and foremost, I want to thank everyone for coming aboard with us. We got a brand new affiliate, Florida Man Radio, 105.5 in Orlando, our friends in Fort Walton. Also simulcast on 660 AM. I was on that station like 10 years ago. Maybe 13 years ago when they used to have the Dolphins. I believe they have the Jags now. And like years ago, they had the Dolphins on it. And I was doing Dolphin pregame for that station. It was really cool. And so I'm back on it. And we really appreciate everybody. We were on with Shannon Burke, their afternoon guy, earlier today. And Bubba the Love Sponge does morning. So welcome to the family. And we're really excited about having JVC broadcasting part of the Dan Sileo Show and USA Radio Network. So thank you for coming aboard with us. As I said, we're also on in Dallas. The Cowboys start training camp tomorrow. Jerry's World. Here, I say this to you with all respect and love for the Cowboys. By the way, had my cup of coffee with the Cowboys. It was a real honor to put that helmet on my head. Start Jimmy Johnson's very first NFL football game against the San Diego Chargers. It was really awesome. Trevor's aboard my Twitch channel. Thank you. By the way, speaking of the Chargers, bottom of the hour, Tom Telesco, the general manager of those Chargers, will be with us. If you know anything about the program, you know we get the biggest names in all of the sports world and entertainment to come aboard with us. So we're going to be talking to the general manager of the Chargers, Tom Telesco, bottom of the hour here. Chance to start for those Cowboys. And the Cowboys will start up training camp tomorrow. Dak Prescott, all signed, sealed, and delivered. $42 million, 42 million reasons to put your faith in Dak Prescott. I've learned so much about Dak throughout this whole, I guess, contract negotiations. I think he's got great character. I think he is the quintessential leader for that team. You know, is he Troy Aikman? Yet to be determined. Troy was such a great leader. Tough. By the way, called his own plays. North Turner may have given him the blueprint, but Troy pretty much called his own plays. Had to deal with Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith and all those great guys on that Cowboy team that win those Super Bowls. Cowboys start their journey tomorrow as they get ready for the Hall of Fame game against the Steelers. I think the Cowboys are a 10-7 football team. I don't think they've really done too much to improve. They're going to change their defensive scheme with Dan Quinn, the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, the former DC defensive coordinator with the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, Trevor's got 11-6. Okay? Yeah, I mean, I think the easy part of their schedule is the beginning. If you look at their schedule, they could probably, I think they could probably win between 10 and 11 games, especially when you're in the NFC least. But I really do like Dak. Best quarterback in that division. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Okay, I don't know if that's a compliment or not. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go forward this year. That extra football game, will it matter? We'll see. Can Ezekiel Elliott's going to be the key for that team's success. Really is. It's going to be the key. Dak throwing for a boatload of yards is not going to be the determining factor if that team wins or not. Playing defense and running the ball. If they can do that, they're going to be a player when it comes to the playoffs because you never know what happens once you get into the postseason. All right, let me get into this story here. I don't know if you guys know who Emmanuel Acho is. He hosts the show on FS1 Speak for Yourself. And he made a comment the other day about Tom Brady. It was reported that Tom Brady pretty much played the entire 2020 season on a torn MCL. Okay? Acho came out and said, that's impossible. I hurt my MCL and I couldn't even move. Well, you ain't that dude. You ain't Tom Brady. Tom Brady, in my opinion, is in the same category as Adrian Peterson. Remember when Peterson blew his knee out? The Minnesota Vikings legendary running back? Came back the next year and went for 2105. Remember when he did that? I mean, he was just incredible. Incredible. Coming off that knee injury like that, and for him to go out and run like that way he did was insane. There's just certain guys out there that can play through pain. Now, let me ask you something here. Do you know what Acho said? He goes like this. Well, you know why Tom Brady's saying this and Tom Brady's people at TB12 are doing this. Because what they want to do is they want to accentuate the great victory and Super Bowl number 7 as maybe his greatest accomplishment because he was injured. You know what's funny about Brady? There's a lot of Brady hating out there. LeBron James, this movie that just came out, Space Jam 2? I'm not going to be critical of it. It's a kid's movie. if you guys are expecting Godfather 2 or something like that, I mean, come on, man. It's a kid's movie. I'm not going to sit there and criticize a kid's movie, okay? Because it's something I'll never watch. But it's for the family. If you're looking for like Laurence Olivier kind of like, performances here, it's a kid's movie. But it's LeBron hating. Hey, and for the record, if you've ever listened to my show, you'll know this. I'm critical of LeBron. He's a rear view mirror guy. All right, he is. He's built great wealth up. No question about it. Has he been a great ambassador to all of that? Great, yeah. But he's not my cup of tea. Okay? But it's LeBron hating. Well, there's Brady hating too. Let me throw this at you here. So, do you really think that Deflategate mattered in Brady's career? No. Come on, man. He won a Super Bowl after that so-called conspiracy. What about Spygate? No, he won a Super Bowl, a couple of them after that too, right? What the media does is they create these false narratives that you see in politics and you see that Damian Lillard thing where they basically said Lillard has demanded a trade out of Portland. And Damian Lillard went like this. I guess he's playing for Team USA, and he went, I never requested a trade. I don't know where that came from. However, I did say you got to be committed on winning. And you know what's really inspired Damian Lillard to make that comment? If you're watching the Milwaukee Bucks, if the Milwaukee Bucks can win an NBA championship, so can the Portland Trailblazers. Okay? So can the Blazers. They can win a championship. But you got to show me. I'm not just going to sit here. And by the way, I love the fact that athletes get to do this now, holding organizations accountable. Hey, man, if you're not going to put championship teams around me and you're not going to bring in great coaches and great people, I don't want to be here. I'm not going to waste the best years of my life sitting around while you guys got your fingers in your nose, not doing anything. That's not the way things are any longer. You don't sit on the vine and die like Dominique Wilkins with the Atlanta Hawks. People aren't going to see that and do that anymore. Or you sit around and you watch, look at Matthew Stafford sitting up there in Detroit just dying. Finally, he got moved to a team that gives him a chance to maybe win a Super Bowl. I don't have a problem with that. And you hear guys like Barkley, oh man, get off my lawn guy. These guys that move around. By the way, that doesn't always work out. I'll give you an example. How about this? Katie and Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, they all go to Brooklyn. That didn't pan out. We saw Barkley and them guys go to Houston with Scottie Pippen. That didn't work out. So just because you put these super teams together, that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna see a result that you saw with Shaq and Kobe, and you saw with what LeBron did in Miami, LeBron did in Los Angeles, or Peyton Manning in Denver. Sometimes you don't see that, man. It takes team chemistry. So where my point is, with Brady, why would Brady want to make a false story up about his career? Do you actually think that Tom Brady is in a position where he needs to highlight any part of his career? Do you think that guy is that guy and he's built around that kind of BS? Do you really think that? I mean, that guy does not come off as that guy to me. Tom Brady's legacy it's been cemented, and only thing he can keep doing is now just adding to it. Watch this. If Brady lost every single football game on the way out next year, say they went 0-17, you think that changes anything on what Brady's done in his career? That wouldn't change anything. This guy has stamped his resume as the greatest quarterback in the history of the sport with the most important position in the sport. I don't know how you can get around any other thing and how you could say it. And there's going to be haters out there. Emmanuel Acho calling Tom Brady a liar, saying he did it, get this, because he needed his flu game. Michael Jordan played against Utah in Game 6 and had 105 temperature. I believe he scored 44 in that game to close out the Jazz. I think that was the second game or the second championship versus Utah, and he closes them out with the flu. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, is there something that you thought that really Jordan, he needed a Jordan moment? Brady doesn't need any moment. And I believe every word he says. I'll tell you what, I will believe Tom Brady over Emmanuel Acho anytime. You know, I saw something that one of the Eagle guys, you know, had to defend Nick Sirianni, Lane Johnson, because some guy named Michael Robinson with the NFL Network came out and was barking that everybody in the Eagle organization really is not happy with the way Nick Sirianni's running the team. And I went like this, wait a minute. They've only had OTAs with dudes in helmets and shorts. Okay? And this guy works for the NFL Network, and he's trying to make his way up the food chain there. And I'm thinking to myself this, dude, so you would lie and make a story up? And you know how people are today because of Twitter, right? Because of Twitter. Oh, if it's on Twitter, it's like air and water to some people. Must be true. So this guy just barks it because he's got a platform. Man, that's dangerous. When you could just lie like that. Yeah, you know, nobody likes the coach. I'm like, how would you know? Have you ever seen him coach in a regular season or even a preseason game? No. So everyone hates him? Really? Wow, is that really bad? All right. Why Aaron Rodgers shows up to Packer training camp next week. We'll hit on it next. Thank you. I know. It's already football season. It's crazy. Trevor just went, thank God. I know. So I'm going to come out of the break at the bottom of the hour, and I'll set it up. And I have about a minute to set it up. Now, do I go to break, or are we going right to break? Okay. Oh, it's okay. Well, that guy, I'll turn that guy into weenie dogs. Godzilla's for weenie dogs. Those little Wienervilles. Yeah, I heard it came up nothing. And wouldn't you say this too? I would say this. I would say this to you: if there's any kind of like things in those ballots, and there's 200 of them or less than 200 of them, it's the machine error. No comment. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Absolutely not. By the way, Tom Telesco, the general manager of the Los Angeles Chargers, will be with us here in a minute. I was just asked a question by my friend on Twitch. By the way, I tell you this all the time. If you'd like to join our social media platforms, Twitch or our YouTube channel, please do. If you don't get the show in your respected markets yet, you can stream us on dansilioshow.com with our great friends at USA Radio Network. We thank you very much. Ask the question, what's your thoughts on Nil and the Miami Hurricanes? I think it's the greatest thing ever happened. I really do. You get a chance to make money off your name and your likeness. Let me just put it to you this way. I would have made $200,000 a year if I was given the legal right to do it. I had to come up with different ways. Hey, and I'll say it. My first car, I drove a Corvette in college. I did it all legal, though. They closed the loophole the next year. I went and got a loan from a bank. I had a Lloyd's of London policy, and I used it as collateral. Bank goes, hey, you're supposed to be a first or second round draft choice. We'll give you a $35,000 loan. I got a $35,000 loan. This was back in 1987. I walked in and got a brand new Corvette. That's how I did it. Coach Johnson's like, how the hell? And no one could believe that I did that. And get this, I had Jimmy Johnson sign the Lloyd's of London policy, and he did it. If it wasn't for JJ signing that, I would never have gotten that loan. But Jimmy believed that I was going to be and I was. If I played my senior year, I would have been a first-round draft choice. I was still the 56th player taken anyway, and I got a $1.1 million deal when I was with the Buccaneers. So, I mean, those were pretty good salaries back in the day. So I did all that. Next year they came in, guys can't use the Lloyd's of London policy. Now they're allowing you to do that, to get loans and stuff for you and your family, and you're able to do that. Back then, they closed that loophole because, of course, hey, and by the way, did you see Mark Emmert's salary? Mark Emmert made $2.9 million last year as the president of the NCAA. During a pandemic, when they were closing programs like wrestling at Stanford and shutting down women's programs, University of Connecticut didn't even have a college football season because of the pandemic. And Mark Emmert is making almost $3 million off the backs of kids. And you're telling me, and Trevor, I know what you're saying there. Watch this. Hey, I know what you're saying, okay? But how about this? That guy's making $3 million and a kid can't get a sandwich because the NCAA would say that he's taking an extra benefit. You got to be kidding me. I mean, seriously. And I've actually had people go like this to me. Oh, well, Dan, this is going to be the downfall of college sports here with, kids getting paid. No, the downfall of college sports was when you decided to act like hookers when it came to these players and pimps, when it came to these players, and that all the people that are making money, the networks are making money, athletic directors are making money, school presidents are making money. You're building new libraries off these kids' backs. The kid can't take a sandwich. Okay. Hey, don't forget, podcasterwarehouse.com, our great friends there. Folks, everybody's got like a home studio now, okay? If you're looking to build one, headphones, microphones, everything, 25% off of everything that's on the website. Please use the promo code Sileo, S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. That's S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. $5 to $5,000. Shipping's free, by the way. Podcasterwarehouse.com. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. We will talk to one of my favorite people in the NFL. He is the general manager of the Los Angeles Chargers, Tom Telesco. Do they have a shot this year? We'll head on up next. Keep it here. Who? Of course he did. Of course he did. Yeah, see, I'll tell you why he's been blackballed on Skull Island is because, he was trying to transport like dinosaur eggs across the border. And, well, yeah, of course, man. You can't bring dinosaur eggs across the border. You can't have little Godzillas running around. Watch this. You can't have little Godzillas running around. Hey, no Godzillas running around on Skull Island. Can't have them running around. No way, man. You get detained. Those eggs are detained. That's what I had for breakfast. Oh, it looks like Super Mario. Yeah. Yeah. That's the way it goes. Red rolls. Wait rolls. Agent. No. He's great in scrambled eggs. No. He's great, man. But a little Chianti. Yeah. Great movie. We had it at the Skull movie theaters. Oh, it's great. The best movie I ever saw when I was a kid, to this day, my aunt and I and my uncle and my cousin went to Atlantic City. It was the premiere week of Jaws. Hey, man, and guess what? Everybody didn't want to go in the water the next day. Dude, I mean it, man. That was like we saw that movie and we couldn't sit together because there was so many people in the building. And I'm sitting there by myself, and all of a sudden I grab somebody next to me. I'm a little kid, man. I'm like a minnow. I'd fillet them I'd fillet them and then little rice, brown rice. Hey, dude, you know what my favorite fish is? It's trout. Trout's great. Oh, I'm Catholic like you. Oh, of course I am. No, no, no. I'm Roman Catholic. There's a difference, Irishman. Uh, yeah. Oh, way better. Dirty guys, ain't they? I know. You'll like how I set this up. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Trevor's like, by the way, the Seattle expansion draft is this week. My guy Chris O was telling me, hey, man, the Seattle team has some pretty good picks coming up. I think that's going to be a really good hockey team. Hey, if they handle this Seattle team like they did the Las Vegas Knights, by the way, I want to throw out some love also to our Nevada Radio Network folks, home of the Golden Knights. Thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, once again, our great friends at Florida Man Radio for picking the Dan Sileo Show up tonight. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. We're on in Fort Walton. We're also on in Orlando. Man, I was on in Orlando for 12 years. I mean, I'm so happy to be back in the state of Florida again. Thank you, guys. I mean, it really means a lot. 105.5 and 660 AM. We really appreciate it. Okay, so with that all being said, I wonder if he'll notice my footballs behind me here, because if you look and you're watching me on my YouTube right now or on my Twitch channel, you'll see this here. So let's bring in our friend here now. He is the general manager of the Los Angeles Chargers. He's my friend, Tom Telesco. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. Okay. I'll be right back. All right. Kevin told me, this was Steelers general manager, he told me that he hadn't been in front of any of his draft choices because of this whole COVID thing. And that when they showed up was one of the very first times that the entire staff got a chance to be around these guys because of the protocols that were going on with COVID. I don't know. How do you guys evaluate just off of the game, not being around the kids enough? Because you like to have your hands on the guy, being in front of the guy, talking to the guy, not doing Zoom conference calls. This is pretty remarkable on what the NFL general managers like yourself had to do. Very limited contact. I mean, evaluating for the draft, it must have been a nightmare. It was different. It's part of what your philosophies are. I keep up a number of years pro scouting for our general manager. Pro scouting, you're only evaluating the film on players. You can't take it one live look at a pro player in a game, but NFL teams not allowed to get on the field and see body types, see photos. Not allowed to do that. So pro scouting is a lot of different things. I'm not used to that. Now our scouts, yeah, they were always involved in the moment. How do you think they talk to coaches? I mean, based on players face to face. The one lucky thing we had is that Jim Higgins did a great job running the Senior Bowl. Without a mention, all the players there, all of our scouts were at the Senior Bowl, so they even at least talked to some players. They were plexiglass and they were feeling right in front of you. So we got a chance to talk to a lot of players there. But when it comes to trying to find background on football players, you can talk to them all you want. You take a little bit of what you need. But you talk to did that. Who coached them for 3 years or 4 years? Talk to all the people they've been around on an everyday basis. That's kind of what we concentrate on. But there's no doubt there's a lot of players that came in our building I had never face to face at all. So it's different. But I wasn't worried about it. It's just the way to do it. Boy, I'll tell you a couple more questions here for you, Tom. Here, the 2021 season. Is this fair to say? And I think you know me because I'm a little bit kind of like sneaky on this. I'm going to throw this at you here. Is this the best roster that you've put together since you've been general? I don't even know if I can finish it. The best roster that you've had since you've been there with the Chargers. You usually ask me to put a letter grade on the roster. I always tell you I'm not a teacher. So. No, I did that to Jeff Ireland, and he's the only guy I've had so far that fell for it. You knew right away, right out of the gate, that wasn't going to fly. Yeah, I have no idea. You don't know how good you are until you start playing games, see what your record is. So the one thing our philosophy is here, though, is we're not just acquiring talent. We're not just signing or drafting players and putting them in a portfolio to show people, hey, look at all these great players we have. We're trying to build a team. There's a big difference between those two things as far as make sure the players complement each other, their skill sets, the scheme, the culture. So, but in the end, we're just all great on how you can wins and losses. You can look at a roster on paper, it may look great, it may not play well. So, and I've had that here before. So I thought there's some teams I felt really good about coming out of training camp. We didn't play as well. So obviously the team wasn't as good as I thought. I like where we are right now, but everyone can say that. So we'll see in training camp. If you want love by a dog, that's what I tell general managers, right? Hey, one last one here for you. It's got to be cool, man, that last year through the pandemic, nobody got a chance to see that spectacular stadium that you're going to be playing in SoFi, and it's the home of the Super Bowl this year. Then you're going to be able to get the fans in the building, and then really, Tom, I think that's where the Chargers are really going to start building their true fan base now, because like you say, hey, I'm here. I can. Okay. So you're going to take. Okay. Okay. Bank. Man, I'm just horrible on timing this up. Thank you. Hey, you're kind of like going in and out. Is that all right? I mean, yeah, but it's kind of like I don't know. Like it sounds like we're not connected or something. No, it's something in like the connection. Great. No, it sounded like you were underwater. No, wrong. That's not on the air though, is it? Long as it's not on the air, I don't care. Yeah, then it's no freaking out. Jesus criminy. What is it, Panicker? Yeah. Holy cow. Off the hinges. Oh no, I hear you. It's like the crap that I put up with Godzilla too. It's like, well, I'll turn that guy into a tuna yard in a minute. I don't know. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. I want to thank my friend Tom Telesco for coming aboard with us. Man, he's got a great young talent. You just never know what you get when you draft a quarterback like Justin Herbert. I met this kid a couple years ago when we were at the Pac-12 luncheon, and I could not believe how big this kid was. 6'7". You know what he did? He sat down, we started talking, and my friend Mario Cristobal is the head football coach at Oregon. It's a great job. Anytime you have Nike behind you, hey, by the way, with this new NIL law that's been instituted, if I'm going to pick a college that I want to go play at, I'm going to play at Oregon. And you would go, why would you want to go to Oregon? Well, that means I'm working for Nike. And if I'm good, I'll be working for Nike a long time. You're mean to tell me I get inroads with Nike? If I go play at Oregon, sign me up. Not every kid gets an opportunity to play in the National Football League. But I'll tell you what, how'd you like to have a career at Nike if it doesn't work out in the NFL for you? Sign me up. Some of this stuff is a crapshoot, man. Right? Some of this stuff is a crapshoot when you're a college kid. You don't know you're making it to the NFL or not. You have no idea. But you get a chance to potentially play at Oregon, and you get a chance to be around Phil Knight. It's pretty cool as far as I'm concerned. But I love this kid, Justin Herbert, the Chargers have. He sat down in front of me, and I go, so what are your goals? He goes, man, I just want to win. I was like, I love those answers. I want to, be a teammate, and, the stuff that's scripted out, that stuff is so dumb. I hate that. I don't want to hear that. Guy goes like, I just want to win, man. So winning's the only thing that matters. He goes, winning's the only thing that matters when you're playing a game like this. And I go, what about the money? He goes, that comes with winning. The girls come with winning. The money comes with winning. The fancy cars come with winning. The fame comes with winning. All of those, and he went like this, all of those little sidebar gifts come with the most important thing, winning. If you're focused on winning, all that stuff, they're like Christmas presents under a tree. The tree's the real deal, right? The Christmas presents are part of the ornaments. This kid's talking to me like this, and I'm like, man, I wish I was that smart as a rookie. And he wasn't even a rookie yet. He was going into his final year at Oregon. And I'm going like, man, I love this kid. He knows there's, how many times you hear people go, well, yeah, I want to be an NFL guy, and I want to da-da-da-da. But when you know that winning is the most important thing, and that all the sidebar stuff is associated with it, putting everything into winning games. I'll tell you this, and when you're in an environment, I do think it's important when you're in the right team. Like when I was in college and I was at the University of Miami and I was around Jimmy Johnson, man, the only thing that mattered to us was winning. All the fame and fortune and all the chances of being drafted came with winning. Everything we did was all about winning, man. Going to drills, running to drills, the way we practiced, the way we traveled, the way we talked to one another, the way we argued with one another, all of that was all about one thing. I really love this kid. I do. He gets it. It's so fast to get it early, too. And you know what I love about his demeanor? Get this. So last year, how he got to be the starter with the Chargers right away, he wasn't even preparing for the game against the Chiefs. And Tyrod Taylor had an unfortunate circumstances happen around him. I guess he got injured the week before, and he took a shot where he had injured one of his ribs. Okay? Get this. They punctured his lung. They punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung. Nobody wants to get a starting gig like that. They go to him 5 minutes before the game. Hey, you're starting. There was a medical emergency. He throws for 350 yards against the Chiefs and almost beats the defending champions. It was just fantastic. I'm like, that's like Joe Montana cool. Really Joe Montana type cool, man. I love that stuff. Love people who just put that priority out there of winning, man. So important. So important. All right. So many great things going on in sports right now. Really, man. So many great things. We'll reset. You keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show.